With point-and-click adventure games being this popular, it seems that every franchise wants in on the action now. This is The Wolf Among Us, made by Telltale Games, and based off the Fables comics. In case you aren't already familiar with the comics, because I know I sure was before the game, it's essentially about all the fairy tale characters such as the Big Bad Wolf, Snow White, Mr. Toad, and many others, who coexist in an adult modernized world after their homes were taken over by a powerful tyrant known as the Adversary, and forced them to settle in New York City. After finally having read some of the comics for the first time, they're pretty damn good. The writing is strong, and the different characters are really interesting, and they still maintain some personality and backstory based on their original source, along with new traits and character development, and luckily, the game manages to carry that same appeal. True to Telltale, this game was released in 5 separate episodes that were released bi-monthly, or almost bi-monthly, they just kind of threw in random release dates towards the end. And as I said before, you can decide on how you want to act as the character, and each choice you make can have a different effect later on. You control Bigby Wolf, voiced by Adam Harrington, who is the sheriff of the community, and called in to stop his old nemesis, the Woodsman, during a drunken rampage. After saving the girl he attacked, she tells Bigby that he is not as bad as everyone says he is. A short while later, Snow White rushes to inform Bigby about a murder as the girl's decapitated head has been placed on the front steps. From there, word gets out that someone is murdering Fables, and with the help of those he supports, Bigby investigates to find the person or people responsible. Along the way, he comes across several characters that aid or hinder his search, such as Beauty and the Beast, the Tweedles, Bluebeard, Ichabod Crane, Georgie Porgy, and others. The characters are in fact one of the strongest features that this game has to offer. They're all designed really well, I can remember what each of them looks like, and the standout personalities that they all have are well worth the price of admission. The cel-shaded graphics work wonders in creating a world as colorful as it is imaginative, and it really does succeed in creating a strong noir-style setting from the comic books. But the only real problem I have with the game is that ever since the Jurassic Park game, Telltale has sort of a reputation for including many, but often funny, protagonist death scenes for failing the QTEs, but the game doesn't really have that many. In fact, it's almost unnecessary. The first episode did that pretty well, but the others did not. The reason I'm making a big deal out of this is because only a select few QTEs have to be successful, but the others can be missed, and you will still have the same outcome, meaning that you as the player don't have to get involved, which takes away a lot of the desperation during the events. So with that being one of my few nitpicks, the rest of the gameplay is done really well. It has conversations identical to those in The Walking Dead, as well as the same freedom to move around and click on things to move the story along. The biggest difference is that there are now collectible Fable entries that are unlocked by meeting people, clicking on certain objects, and through dialogue, so there is a reason to replay the game as if the experience and decision-making wasn't enough. So if you're a fan of Fables, or just looking for a new fresh adventure, I would definitely say play it. It really is a very memorable and engrossing experience.
Hey, I need to tell you something.
What is it?
You're not as bad as everyone says you are. I'll see you around, Wolf.